Welcome, everybody, to Friday Night Basketball on the Big East Digital Network. David Goss and Olivia Mulvihill joining you from Walsh Gymnasium on the campus of Seton Hall University. The Seton Hall Pirates at 12-6, taking on the Villanova Wildcats from just down the road at 11-7. It's going to be a good night here at Walsh Gymnasium. Blew out a number of fans as we're looking forward to a good one, Olivia. And when you take a look at the calendar right now, end of January, this weekend, the last time through the first round of Big East play, you start to take a look at those standings, starting to come into fruition what really matters.
Exactly, and what really matters here for every team that you look, the Big East is really open. You know, Marquette, really solid, undefeated. Butler with just one loss. But when you go from teams 3 through 10, it's pretty much open for the whole rest of the season. So every team in the Big East right now is going to have to take every game as a must-win scenario. For
Villanova at 2-5, they're in that boat, and let's take a look. Their last game against Georgetown, a tough road loss against a team close to them in the standings.
For sure, and Georgetown has been a very talented team so far this season, but Villanova has been too. They were with the Hoyas for a good portion of this game and just really unable to finish. Georgetown beat them on the glass as well, so a really tough loss for this really Villanova team that has a lot of senior leaders, but they're down the line, they're really just going to have to get used to finishing games off stronger.
And on the flip side for Seton Hall, coming in on a high, they knocked off DePaul last weekend, their first win over a ranked opponent in 3 years.
A huge win for Tony Pizzella's squad, not only beating DePaul on their home court, but beating them as they are ranked the number 24 team in the country. So a huge win for the Pirates. They've won their last 3 of 4. So the Pirates are really coming back home to Walsh in a really good position. For
Villanova, looking to turn it around, and they are going to rely, of course, on Adriana Hahn, their senior leader in the backcourt.
Yeah, and Hahn has really done a lot so far for this Villanova team. Really looking forward to see what she can do here at Walsh Gymnasium, where Villanova has been successful.
We are in for a good one. Seton Hall averaging 88 points a game here at home. Villanova, though, have won 14 of their last 17 here at Walsh Gymnasium. We'll be back in just a moment with starting lineups here on the Big East Digital Network.
It's time to fuel your ambitions by taking charge of your student debt. At SoFi, we've helped over 250,000 people refinance their student loans, saving thousands of dollars. Now you can pay off your student loans faster and reach your goals sooner. See how much you can save in just 2 minutes at SoFi.com/save.
What can great minds do?
While at Seton Hall, I interned with the Superior Court of New Jersey, and that inspired me to go to law school.
I am a physics and civil engineering major, and I want to work on infrastructure in underdeveloped countries.
I'm the news director at one of the top college radio stations in the country.
I'm working with my professor on research that could help athletes during sudden cardiac events.
I started my own business, Classic Soccer Cleats, and I just sold it to a company in England.
Come see for yourself what great minds can do.
Family on 3, 1, 2, 3. Family!
One voice, one heart, one beat. As we say, we are one. You ready? Let's go.
This is who we are.
We are the hardest working group of people I've ever met in my entire life.
This is bigger than just the game.
You made the jersey better than when you found it. That means you left your mark.
That's the Big East way.
1, 2, 3.
Together!
The 2019 Big East Women's Basketball Tournament at Wintrust Arena.
Pre-game festivities completed here at Walsh Gymnasium as we get ready for the face-off between Villanova Wildcats coming in at 2-5 in Big East play, and the Seton Hall Pirates coming in at 4-3 in Big East play. Coach Pizzella there, 9-0 at home this season. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for this one. Seton Hall Pirates normally in their road blues, but in a blue out tonight. And you take a look at the starting lineup for the Seton Hall team. It's pretty locked in for Coach Pizzella's squad. Inya Butina and Nicole Jimenez in the backcourt. Victoria Cardesi along with them, and then Shadeen Samuels and Selena Falaxi in the front court.
Philoxy and Samuels have been great when it comes to grabbing rebounds in really important situations in the game. You know, when it comes to offensive grabs and putting up some second chance points, they're really a great tag team on the glass.
But Coach Bozzella in his 6th season with Seton Hall. On the flip side, a little bit more experience for Harry Peretta at Villanova. This Villanova team, not very deep, but very experienced. When you look at the starting lineup, Janet Tucker, Kelly Kache, in that backcourt, and Mary Gadeka, the leading shooter in the conference, alongside Adriana Hahn, and of course, Bridget Herlihy for this Villanova team.
And this Villanova team, we talked about it earlier, they have a lot of veteran leadership on this team. They have a lot of experience. An NCAA tournament team from last year. They lost in the second round to Notre Dame, which is understandable, who went on to win the championship. So this team really has a lot of experience in a lot of tough situations. And I think that that's really helped them pull off some good wins so far this season.
And you saw it, Harry Peretta, his 41st season at Villanova, 746 career wins, 9th all-time on the active list, 13 all-time in the women's college basketball game. As much experience as you could find.
I mean, when you think of Villanova women's basketball, you think of him. And another good thing that I think is cool to look at is his staff has either all gone to Villanova or Providence. So this team not only is led by such great leaders individually, but they know Big East basketball. They know how this conference runs, and they know how Villanova basketball runs. So this team has a lot of great tradition in it, and it's just had such a phenomenal past, and in the past couple of years has seen a lot of great success in making the postseason the past couple of years.
And Coach Peretta now in his 2nd generation of players, especially Mary Gadeka, one of the leading scorers on this team, whose mom was a Big East Player of the Year in 1989. She's averaging 13 points a game, 65% from the field, leading the Big East. She's going to be one of the keys we expect to see against Shadeen Samuels.
And Samuels has had a lot of hard players to defend so far in Big East play so far this year, but she's done a good job. The last time the Pirates were here on a Friday was when the Pirates took on Creighton, and Samuels limited the Big East leading scorer at the time, favored to only about 5 points at halftime. So she's really, I think, gotten used to these tough challenges when it comes to taking on some of the toughest players in the conference.
So tip-off here between these two teams. Samuels is able to win it over Herlihy, and Inya Butina comes away with it. Seton Hall split their road trip last week. A blowout loss to Marquette on Friday night, and coming back and getting a double-digit victory against DePaul. As Nicole Jimenez rises up for the first shot of the game. Battle for the boards, an offensive rebound for the Hall, and it comes back into the hands of Samuels. Her left-handed layup is in for the first basket of the game.
Samuels just makes things look so easy on the court. You know, she dives after passes, she grabs loose balls, and she's really able to finish the ball well in the hoop.
Villanova team that you know is going to grind out possessions, take their time, but can really fill it up from behind the three-point line as Herlihy misses her first attempt. As we said, Coach Peretta, 41 years, but a whole lot of success in that time at Villanova. Flying back down the court here. Hahn with the ball fake. Now Villanova will get back into their offense. Hahn from the corner for three. She knocks down her first one.
And for the Pirates, you do not want to leave Hahn open. She is such a tremendous three-point shooter. She's only 6 threes away from being the all-time leader in threes made at Villanova. So she's had quite the resume built here at Villanova, and just a bright career for her.
Samuels goes up for her second basket of the game. Hahn, 278 career three-pointers made, 11th all-time on the Villanova scoring list, past Carolyn Coyer in the last game. Looked like an up and down there, but no call made. Tucker misses her three. You know Villanova won't be shy, letting fly from behind that arc. Jimenez coming off the screen. She hoists another one, that one off the back iron.
Jimenez really started off the season strong from beyond the arc. She had a tremendous game against St. Peter's with 33 points, with a lot of those points coming from three-point range. And, I think she's just kind of in like a little rut right now. This Big East schedule has been tough for them, but, when she gets going from beyond the arc, she's pretty much unstoppable.
Wildcats leading scorer Kelly Jaycott missing that three-point attempt. Villanova, whether they hit it or not, they're going to continue to shoot it. And this year, really, that's been Seton Hall's identity as well. One of the leading three-point shooter teams in the country. The Big East as a total have 5 of the top 30 three-point attempts and 3 points made per game in the country. As Butina makes the nice move for the 2-point layup.
A really nice move there. Butina and Hahn are really, I think, going to be going after each other in tonight's matchup. Two players that really like to not only distribute the ball well, but can score. So I think that this matchup is going to be one of the best tonight in the Big East.
Hurley, he had a mismatch, throws it away to Faloxy. Faloxy now looking to run the break. Kicks it out for Samuels. Selena Faloxy goes up into the contact, can't finish. Villanova still just the lone make from Adriana Hahn, which has been registered as a 2-pointer. We'll take another look at that one after. Samuels gets the block. Now leading the break the other way. Shadeen Samuels draws the foul. It'll be the first foul of the game. That one on Gianna Tucker, junior out of Baltimore, Maryland.
That was just a great play there from Samuels, really staying on top and getting that block and grabbing it and coming down and drawing the foul. She's just really grown as a basketball player in her 3 years here, not only talent-wise, but her IQ. She knows how, to grow up and grab rebounds, when to go for block shots, how to stay out of foul trouble. So she's really just, grown in different aspects on the court.
Samuels this year shooting 68% from the free throw line, which is actually a 10-point improvement from her best year, as you talk about her growing in her game and also showing off her versatility, the block, the ability to run the floor. This year at a career-high 31% from the three-point line as well. It's been a big season. Shadeen Samuels, second leading vote getter for most improved player in the conference last year, might be the winner this year. Jaycott hasn't gotten it going yet. The mismatch down low. Cardacy trying to defend. Herlihy can't finish. Victoria Cardacy comes away with it. Samuels looking to create a little. Jimenez with another jumper. That one doesn't even get rim. Villanova coming back the other way.
One thing we talked about with head coach Bozzella prior to today's game is that his team is really going to have to find a way to shoot over this Villanova team that has a lot of height on them. And I think that for Jimenez, standing at 5'2", it is kind of difficult when you are going up against a guard who has could even have a good 5 inches on you. So that really can throw off your balance when it comes to having a consistent day in shooting.
Hahn, the shortest player on the floor at 5'6", so stands at least 4 inches taller than Nicole Jimenez, who is actually the shortest registered player in the Big East, just around 5'2". As you said, this team for Villanova, height across the board was something that Coach Bozzella was really worried about. Seton Hall leading 8-5 here to open up this first quarter. Herlihy can't find the range. Still scoreless for the junior out of Braintree, Massachusetts. Jimenez this time gets into the lane and can't finish off the backboard.
When you get down low like that, it seems like almost every shot, you're really going to have to make. There's pretty much no excuse when you are in that situation. So, just a couple kinks that Jimenez is really going to have to work through. But, it is still only the first quarter. We have seen her have huge spurts later on in games throughout this season. So, we'll definitely look to see how she can look to make improvements going into the next 3 quarters.
Gadeka had a mismatch on the block. Hahn misses the 3. Butina right back the other way. She can't finish the floater. And it'll go out off of Villanova hand. So an up and down open to this first quarter. Neither of these teams has found the range, but as we said, Seton Hall averaging 88 points per game here, so you know they're going to find it soon. More action coming up here on the Big East Digital Network.
It's time to fuel your ambitions by taking charge of your student debt. At SoFi, we've helped over 250,000 people refinance their student loans, saving thousands of dollars. Now you can pay off your student loans faster and reach your goals sooner. See how much you can save in just 2 minutes at SoFi.com/save.
What can great minds do?
While at Seton Hall, I interned with the Superior Court of New Jersey, and that inspired me to go to law school.
I am a physics and civil engineering major, and I want to work on infrastructure in underdeveloped countries.
I'm the news director at one of the top college radio stations in the country.
I'm working with my professor on research that could help athletes during sudden cardiac events.
I started my own business, Classic Soccer Cleats, and I just sold it to a company in England.
Come see for yourself what great minds can do.
One voice, one heart, one beat. As we say, we are one. You ready? Let's go.
This is who we are.
We are the hardest working group of people I've ever met in my entire life.
This is bigger than just the game.
You made the jersey better than when you found it. That means you left your mark.
That's the Big East way.
1, 2, 3.
Together!
The 2019 Big East Women's Basketball Tournament at Wintrust Arena.
A slow start to this one here at Walsh Gymnasium. David Goss and Olivia Mulvihill on the call for you here on the Big East Digital Network. Villanova, we thought it was going to be 8-6. Adriana Hahn hitting the first shot of this game. We thought she was 6 away from breaking the record for all-time threes, but that little bit of her sneaker was on the line, so she's still 6 away from tying. But for Villanova, they've started slow. They've only hit 2 of 9, but they're only down by 3.
Exactly. You know, we've seen this throughout the season, both for the Pirates and Villanova. You know, teams that, you know, kind of start off slow, but Seton Hall still does average 88 points a game. So when they get hot, you know, they can go on runs and they can create opportunities to score a lot and lead their teams by a good margin. So I think it's definitely going to be a matter of finding their rhythm and getting used to playing back at home.
Very little surprise for this Seton Hall team that coming out of that break, you bring in Desiree Elmore, who's averaging over 8 points a game in just 15 minutes per game, one of the most efficient scorers in the Big East.
She is such a key reserve on this really young Bozzella squad who just has so much potential. You know, I can really see next year, you know, after this summer, you know, hitting the weight room and hitting practice every day, just having even more of a breakout season next year.
And on the flip side, Coach Beretta bringing in one sub. That's Emily Esposito, who hit that last jump shot. Redshirt freshman out of Maine. Cardacci lets fly from 3 off the back iron. Elmore with the offensive rebound, battling to get it back up, and Gadeka now brings it down.
I think rebounding is going to be something pretty interesting throughout this game, with Seton Hall having Samuels and Philoxy just really going up and grabbing so many offensive and defensive boards. And, you know, Villanova has struggled with that throughout some of their past games, getting out-rebounded. So I think that Villanova's really going to have to try and beat Philoxy and Samuels on the glass throughout this game.
A lid on the rim to start this one. Villanova 1 of 6 from 3. Seton Hall 0 of 5 from behind the arc for 2 of the best three-point shooting teams in the conference. KK Hilaire checks in for the first time in this game.
Hilaire brings a lot of quickness to this Seton Hall team. She has experience, she's a junior, and she's really becoming a lot more efficient when it comes to, you know, point guard duties and distributing the ball well, creating opportunities for her teammates, and trying to limit team turnovers.
So Jaycock coming back in as Hahn misses that one. Butina getting deep in the lane and hits the circus shot high off the backboard.
And that did not look easy to make. She really didn't have a good look on the backboard there, but she got it to go, which is really what makes it's really the most important.
So 5-point lead here for the Pirates. Villanova has yet to lead in this game. Hahn still looking to get it going, 1 of 3 so far. As Herlihy drives down the lane. That not the starter Bridget Herlihy, but her younger sister Brianna Herlihy, the sophomore out of Braintree, Mass, averaging 11 minutes per game.
And both these sisters have done, a good job on this team so far, whether it comes to either starting or coming off the bench. And, it's just a really athletic family. Brianna played volleyball, basketball, and track and field in high school. So I don't know what they're feeding them up in Massachusetts, but it's really working.
Braintree, Mass, just outside of Boston. And Coach Peretta's been around for a while. We already talked about Kadeka's mother playing for him. The Coyer sisters, of course, the linchpins of his team for the last 5 or 6 years before they graduated. 2 twin sisters who led the team in scoring. So Coach Peretta's had some success when he finds a family, a good basketball family, of continuing to bring players in.
He's done a tremendous job, not only recruiting in some of the top areas in Pennsylvania outside of Philadelphia, but really recruiting all over the East Coast, in the Maryland area, up in New England. So he really knows what he's doing when it comes to getting talented players.
Good play out of the inbounds by the Pirates. So a layup for Butina, who's got 6 points. She only played 8 minutes a week ago against Marquette on the road, fouling out, barely getting a chance to touch the basketball. Bounced back with a better performance against DePaul and even better so far here against Nova.
When she's playing well, she brings so much to the team, not only in scoring, but when it comes to finding ways for her teammates to score. She really knows how to, have a really good pass to her teammates, not only when it comes to assists, but just creating different types of plays for her teammates. And she just really does a lot on this court.
And as we compliment her, it looks like Butina picking up a foul for an illegal screen there as she crossed paths with Elmore. So Cardace will come back on for the final 44 seconds of this first quarter.
And as you said, she did foul out in that game against Marquette. So she's really going to have to look to, not get into foul trouble here, because when she's not on the court, it seems that, this Seton Hall team can kind of suffer without her.
Raven James on the floor for the first time with the basketball here. Sophomore at Upper Marlboro, Maryland, and a knockdown 3 there. That, in a nutshell, Villanova basketball as Kelly Jaycott hits her first shot of the game.
Jaycott's have had a really good season so far in the Big East, one of the leaders in scoring, and I think that she's really going to be a difference maker when it comes to turning this Villanova team into the right direction going into the second half of league play.
Shot clock is off. Hilaire trying to drive by James, and the foul will go against Raven James. Just the second team foul for Villanova, so 3.9 seconds left. Seton Hall trying to make this a 2-possession lead to close out this first quarter. They have led wire to wire so far. Elmore not open, kicked out to Cardace, who swings under and puts the 3 up and hits all backboard there to close out the first quarter. A tough shooting performance from these two teams. Villanova 30% from the field right now. Seton Hall 33%, but we expect fireworks from 2 of the top scoring teams in the conference. More coming up here on the Big East Digital Network. Seton Hall Pirates hosting Villanova Wildcats. Blew out night here at Walsh Gymnasium.
It's time to fuel your ambitions by taking charge of your student debt. At SoFi, we've helped over 250,000 people refinance their student loans, saving thousands of dollars. Now you can pay off your student loans faster and reach your goals sooner. See how much you can save in just 2 minutes at SoFi.com/save.
Meet Fliz1. It's tiny and complex, and to our research team at Villanova University, this protein may hold the key to new tests for breast cancer. I started this work my second year at Villanova with a world-class researcher who is now my mentor and colleague. I stepped on campus an aspiring oncologist. Now, I'll start med school with a real understanding of the science behind the practice of medicine and Villanova's Augustinian values to guide me. Ignite change, go Nova.
What can great minds do?
While at Seton Hall, I interned with the Superior Court of New Jersey, and that inspired me to go to law school.
I am a physics and civil engineering major, and I want to work on infrastructure in underdeveloped countries.
I'm the news director at one of the top college radio stations in the country.
I'm working with my professor on research that could help athletes during sudden cardiac events.
I started my own business, Classic Soccer Cleats, and I just sold it to a company in England.
Come see for yourself what great minds can do.
David Gotts and Olivia Mulvihill with you on the Big East Digital Network. First quarter in the books at Walsh Gymnasium. Seton Hall tied for third in the Big East, hosting Villanova, who's down at the bottom right now, tied for second to last. Preseason pick, though, to be third in the Big East. So surprise for Coach Peretta's side. They've come out a little slow here today.
And we've seen this Villanova team come out slow in successful games that they went on to be successful in earlier on this season. In a Big 5 game against Penn where they won 58-50, they only had 4 points in the first quarter. So I think for this team, it's really, just how they can build on their efficiency going into the game. And once they become efficient, they really do stay consistent throughout the games. 2
turnovers so far in the first quarter. Actually, a lot for a Villanova team, but not a lot for your average basketball team. As you mentioned, Villanova sweeping the Big 5 this year, going 4-0 after that win last week over UPenn. That was the first of 4 straight road games for Villanova. They lost after that at Georgetown, as we showed in the pregame, and now they've got the game here at Seton Hall, followed by a game on Sunday at St. John's. A pivotal weekend in Big East play. It's been wire-to-wire most games so far in conference play. Philoxy trying to go to work in the lane. Cardace with the corner 3, and she switches it. Switched down by Cardace, her first basket of the game.
Cardace, ever since she's gotten her mask taken off from that nose injury, has really just been a menace when it comes to scoring. She had a tremendous game at DePaul with 12 points, 5 assists. So she's really just had such a great improvement coming off that injury.
Matched by Raven James. From NBA range on that one. Still a 3-point game here. As we expected, these two teams going to start cooking on offense at some point. Too good of 2 offensive programs to stay down for too long.
Not only is Villanova a really good team offensively, but you mentioned how 2 turnovers in the first quarter is a lot for them, and it really is because so far in the Big East, they've only averaged 10.6 turnovers per game in each conference game, which is the 8th fewest in Division I. So they really know how to stay consistent when it comes to their guard play and just keeping the ball with them.
Tucker now gets in the lane, kicks it out for Herlihy. She can't find the bottom of the net. And it's a rebound there for Seton Hall to go back the other way. Hilaire gets into the lane. Cardace feeling it now. She can't hit that one, and Tucker comes down with the rebound. You can see that Villanova offense putting it around the perimeter and then finding any opening from behind the 3-point line. We are tied for the first time since 0-0 here. Villanova on a 6-0 run. Philoxy called for the travel. Zinia Butina checks in now for Hilaire, but Esposito coming off the bench, as well as Brianna Herlihy. And right now, Coach Peretta having some success with this lineup.
I think that really goes to show that, you really don't have to go too deep in a lineup, but you just have, your key players, stay consistent and have their heads in the game. And this team has had a lot of different lineup changes. They've battled some injuries, but they've really done as much as they can to come out with some good wins so far.
This Villanova team has had some big injuries already this season. Missing Grace Stant, who broke her foot against Providence, as Samuels puts that one in. Stant was averaging 20 minutes per game. One of the senior leaders for this team, Samantha Karangi, redshirt freshman, got injured in the first game of the season, been out for the year, was one of the top high school basketball players in the nation. So this team now going about 8 deep, and the last 1 or 2 on that bench, averaging less than 10 minutes per game, as Villanova ties this one up once again.
Right now, with the way both teams are playing, I think was a lot how we kind of predicted this game to go. When you look at the stats for both these teams, they are pretty evenly matched up, and I think that, you know, with the score being tied right now, I think that's really going to show how well these teams match up against each other.
So Elmore coming on for Philoxy. Bridget Herlihy and Raven James go out, and the two stars, Adriana Hahn and Mary Gadeka, come back on. Gadeka yet to score a point in this one. Samuels having some good success here early on. She's in double digits.
Definitely on her way to a double-double as well. 6 rebounds, and it's only the second quarter, so she's just really, you know, found her way on both sides of the court throughout this game.
Gadeka passing out of that drive. Esposito with the free throw line jumper. She hits the back rim. Elmore now trying to push it in transition. Samuels gets into the lane once again. That time she draws the foul. Kelly Jaycott, her first personal foul. Samuels will go to the line. So Villanova coming out hot here in the second quarter. We've mentioned already the success of Shadeen Samuels here in her junior year, amping up basically every statistic. She's up 10 points per game in scoring, over 3 rebounds per game. She's been one of the best players in the Big East.
You can really just tell, you know, how hard she works for so many different aspects when it comes to playing. You know, not only scoring, she plays tremendous defense, you know, grabbing some steals, blocking some shots like we already saw earlier on in this game. So I think it's really important to see when a player not only works on their scoring, but, you know, just keeps building their resume with so many different ways on how to be a successful player.
Cameron Onken, number 0 for Villanova, has checked in for the first time this game. Villanova now trailing by 4. They've yet to lead in this one. Gadeka's got a mismatch, swings it. That one won't fall for Onken right off the bench. Elmore trying to push the offense. She throws that one behind Shadeen Samuels.
A little too quick there. I think that sometimes when it comes to the Seton Hall team, they really like to amp up the pressure early, and I think sometimes it can really come back to bite you when, you know, you really aren't ready for it.
Coach Bozzella said to us, we need to run. At some point in this game, we need to get out and run. We haven't really seen that so far.
One thing that I think this team has done well is, you know, when they are down against teams like we saw against DePaul, they really, you know, not only matched up with their speed, but they became the quicker team throughout the game, and I think that was a really big key to their victory in Chicago.
Seton Hall, a team that wants to get up and down the floor. Quick possessions, Villanova the opposite, as Gadeka takes a shot in the chest there. There'll be a foul on Shadeen Samuels, her first personal. And Gadeka coming up slow. She got barreled through on that play. Mary Gadeka, one of the stars for this team. So that could be a big injury for this Villanova squad, playing stronger here in the second quarter, trailing by 4 on the road here on the Big East Digital Network.
Family on 3, 1, 2, 3. Family!
One voice, one heart, one beat. As we say, we are one. You ready? Let's go.
This is who we are.
We are the hardest working group of people I've ever met in my entire life.
This is bigger than just the game.
You made the jersey better than when you found it. That means you left your mark.
That's the Big East way.
1, 2, 3.
Together!
The 2019 Big East Women's Basketball Tournament at Wintrust Arena. Meet Fliz 1. It's tiny and complex, and to our research team at Villanova University, this protein may hold the key to new tests for breast cancer. I started this work my second year at Villanova with a world-class researcher who is now my mentor and colleague. I stepped on campus an aspiring oncologist. Now, I'll start med school with a real understanding of the science behind the practice of medicine and Villanova's Augustinian values to guide me. Ignite change, Go Nova.
What can great minds do?
While at Seton Hall, I interned with the Superior Court of New Jersey, and that inspired me to go to law school.
I am a physics and civil engineering major, and I want to work on infrastructure in underdeveloped countries.
I'm the news director at one of the top college radio stations in the country.
I'm working with my professor on research that could help athletes during sudden cardiac events.
I started my own business, Classic Soccer Cleats, and I just sold it to a company in England.
Come see for yourself what great minds can do.
Back now on the Big East Digital Network, midway through the second quarter, and you see Mary Gadeka there, still wincing a little, Olivia, on the bench as she took a monster hit from Shadeen Samuels as we closed out before the break, but drew the foul.
I think she definitely got the wind knocked out of her there. You know, something that, you know, hopefully, you know, with this quick break here, she can, you know, regain everything back and, you know, have a good little bit of rest here. But she's a really tough player. She was the Big East Sixth Woman of the Year last year, and her mom, like we mentioned, played for Coach Peretta and was the 1987 Big East Player of the Year. So I don't think she's going to stay down for long. She's, like I said, she's a really resilient player and can really come out strong for this Villanova team.
Back in her native New Jersey, and from Malika Hill, New Jersey, Gadeka, 13 points per game, has yet to attempt a field goal in this one, but she's back out there on the floor, gets in the lane, and she's got her first 2 points. Wincing a little, she comes back down the court, but it may have just woken her up, that hit from Samuels.
That was just like the definition of a bounce back there.
Onken, Tucker, Jaycott, Gadeka, and Hahn on the floor for Villanova. Hilaire, Cardesi, Jimenez, Elmore, and Shadeen Samuels, who you see getting called for the travel there, on the floor for Seton Hall. That shot broke a 2-minute scoreless drought for Villanova, pulled them back within 2.
The biggest thing here, I think, for Villanova is going to have to be staying out of those droughts, because that's really when Seton Hall can take advantage of it and go on a run and could potentially go up big.
Villanova has made 4 threes so far in this one. They average a little over 9 per game, so right on track for them, but shooting 29% from beyond the arc. Hahn at the last second there on the shot clock couldn't make a decision, so it was a shot clock violation. Faloxi and Butina come back on the floor. Looks like Elmore and Jimenez coming off.
Good pressure there, really kind of, you know, getting Hahn confused, and a good way for Seton Hall to get possession and try and extend their lead.
Seton Hall with a 2-point lead here, Olivia, but you have to say the game's been played at the pace, the tempo, the style of Villanova.
A lot of times you see when a team like Seton Hall that plays really fast, you know, always on their feet, you know, going after everything, running up and down the floor, plays against a team like Villanova who takes their time with the shot clock. I think a lot of times teams will play down towards the speed of their opponent, and I think that's exactly what we're seeing here tonight with the Pirates.
It'll be interesting to see if Coach Bozzella tries to put on a press at all, just to speed the game up, not really to force turnovers. Villanova trailing by 2. Seton Hall now in a 2.5-minute scoreless drought. Gadeka, the air ball. Onken tried to knock it back to a teammate, couldn't find anyone. So we've got just under 3.5 minutes left to play here in the second quarter. Seton Hall 3 turnovers on their last 3 possessions in this 2.5-minute scoring drought. Hilaire with the pull-up 3 off the dribble. She can't find the range. Hilaire, not exactly a 3-point shooter on this team, has only made 4 all season.
Another thing Coach Bozzella talked about before the game is this team really shouldn't have to force 3-pointers. They've been defended a lot so far in Big East play from the 3-point line, and I think that really goes to show, you know, how well teams have been scouting the Pirates, because in non-conference play, they were lights out from 3-point range for almost the entire non-conference season.
Big shot there from Tucker brings us back into a tie. Villanova has still yet to lead in this one. Hard screen there from Faloxi. Gets it back now, 5 seconds left to shoot. Butina's going to have to put one up. Steps back, puts it up, and that one rims out to the crowd's dismay. And now Coach Peretta slows his team down to get them in their offense, trying to take their first lead of the game here. With 2 minutes left in the first half. Tucker's gotten it going. She gets inside the lane, finds Gadeka for the layup. And Villanova's fought their way back here from a 6-point deficit to take their first lead of the game.
Gadeka really getting hot down low here, which can be a problem for Villanova opponents when she is really just down low in the paint. She can make layups happen, and she really can grab some offensive rebounds and get second chance points for herself throughout the season as well.
That one, a quick three-point attempt from Tucker. Rims out. So how will Seton Hall respond now to this run from the Villanova Wildcats? Samuel's trying to bully her way inside and throws it over Philoxy's head. And out for another turnover. Seton Hall, 6 turnovers here in the second quarter.
When we looked at stats before the game, Seton Hall did turn the ball over a lot more in non-conference play. I think that was a big thing, going into Big East play that this team really worked on. And I think when they kind of get in a rut with turnovers, it's hard for them to become more efficient, and it's kind of looking like, that could be the case here. So I think that, they're just really going to have to play their ball and keep up the speed, but not try and force things.
So Hahn, Gadeka, Jaycott, Esposito, and Brianna Herlihy, the older sister out there on the floor. Hilaire, Cardace, Jimenez, Samuels, and Desiree Elmore on the floor for Seton Hall under the 1 minute mark here in the first half. And Gadeka gets called for the offensive foul. She's not happy with that call as she turns and takes a look at Kevin Pelthel on that one, our official alongside Katie Lukanich and Poulain Spurlock. So Gadeka will go out now. She's got one personal foul.
This Pirate team knows how to draw charges. Desiree Elmore has drawn 11 charges throughout this season. Shanine Samuels with 7. So really props to this coaching staff and really teaching them, how to draw the correct foul.
An air ball from Jimenez lands in Elmore's hands. So she's got 4 points. Seton Hall ties this one up. About a 5-second difference between the shot clock and game clock here. So Villanova, you'd expect, will run this one down. So both Herlihy sisters on the floor now. Esposito trying to take the smaller Jimenez down low. Free throw line jumper's no good. 6 seconds left here for Seton Hall to try and take the lead. Cardace gets blocked. Samuel's battling for it. She's going to get fouled. The buzzer did not go off, but we are at double zeros. And now our 3 officials will get together and talk.
Villanova not looking happy there with that call.
So they're going to go and review this one to see if the foul happened before the buzzer for halftime. Cardace with the air ball. You see Samuels, it looked like get the ball off her hands before it hit double zero. The referees will go take a look. Either way, a really good second quarter here for Villanova.
Exactly, and exactly what we talked about going into this second quarter. This team has not really been consistent in first quarters throughout the season. Lots of times, scoring, just under 10 or 12 points. So I think this second quarter was exactly what they needed, not only with scoring, but picking up their pace as well and trying to beat Seton Hall on the glass and create more opportunities.
And they moved away from the three-point shot, not making a single one here in this quarter, but got inside. Mary Gadeka, those 4 points after getting hit by Samuels, responding. We've seen a good game here from Tucker as she's gotten inside a couple times and hit some jump shots. So all around for Coach Peretta, a lot of positives going into the locker room.
And I think that Gadeka is really going to be key coming into this second half of this game. She's been key in a lot of big wins so far for the Wildcats this season. She had double-doubles against Princeton and Georgia, and we talked about this earlier. This is pretty much a must-win situation for this Villanova team, sitting at just 2-5 in the Big East. So I think a win today and even a win on Sunday would really put them in a good position to keep going on a run the rest of the Big East season and get back to the postseason, which is ultimately going to be this Wildcats team goal, being that they made it to the second round in the NCAA tournament last season.
So our referees look like they're ready to make their call as they've watched it, and now they're conferring, speaking to the scorers table. We both anticipate there'll be a couple milliseconds put on, and it looks like that's the case. So we've got free throws coming here for Samuels. Villanova bench, as you anticipated, not happy at all. Let's talk about for Seton Hall, though. Good start to the game, but not played at their tempo now. If Samuels can hit these, they get a lead going to halftime, but in this second quarter, they led by 6 at one point. What's going to be the conversation for Coach Bozzella with his team? As we get an explanation here from our referees. So the clock accidentally getting to zeros before the foul occurred. So now we're going to take free throws here, it looks like, from Samuels.
Yeah, 2 free throws with 1.2 put back on the clock. So a good situation here for the Pirates to try and get a small lead going into halftime.
But what does this Seton Hall team need to focus on? What do they need to do in the second half?
I think they just need to come out and play Seton Hall basketball, especially here in Walsh Gymnasium. They have been known to put up big offensive games, scoring over 100 points in certain games here in Walsh. So I think that Tony Bozzella is really just going to have to tell them to pick up the pace and start playing like how they've played here in the past this season, because 27 points at halftime, even though they are up by 2, is very uncharacteristic for this really talented offensive team.
Seton Hall averaging 88 points a game here at home. They've shot 37% from behind 3 at home, only 1 for 11 in that first half. On the flip side, Villanova playing Villanova basketball, limiting the turnovers, knocking down threes, and keeping it close in this one. We expect a good second half coming up. We're going to take a look at first half highlights in this halftime, and then we'll be back with your second half action here on the Big East Digital Network.
It's time to fuel your ambitions by taking charge of your student debt. At SoFi, we've helped over 250,000 people refinance their student loans, saving thousands of dollars. Now you can pay off your student loans faster and reach your goals sooner. See how much you can save in just 2 minutes at SoFi.com.
One voice, one heart, one beat. As we say, we are one. You ready? Let's go.
This is who we are.
We are the hardest working group of people I've ever met in my entire life.
This is bigger than just the game.
You made the jersey better than when you found it. That means you left your mark.
That's the Big East way.
1, 2, 3.
Together!
The 2019 Big East Women's Basketball Tournament at Wintrust Arena.
What can great minds do?
While at Seton Hall, I interned with the Superior Court of New Jersey, and that inspired me to go to law school.
I am a physics and civil engineering major, and I want to work on infrastructure in underdeveloped countries.
I'm the news director at one of the top college radio stations in the country.
I'm working with my professor on research that could help athletes during sudden cardiac events.
I started my own business, Classic Soccer Cleats, and I just sold it to a company in England.
Come see for yourself what great minds can do.
Meet Fliz 1. It's tiny and complex, and to our research team at Villanova University, this protein may hold the key to new tests for breast cancer. I started this work my second year at Villanova with a world-class researcher who is now my mentor and colleague. I stepped on campus and aspiring oncologists. Now, I'll start med school with a real understanding of the science behind the practice of medicine and Villanova's Augustinian values to guide me. Ignite change, go Nova.
It's time to fuel your ambitions by taking charge of your student debt. At SoFi, we've helped over 250,000 people refinance their student loans, saving thousands of dollars. Now you can pay off your student loans faster and reach your goals sooner. See how much you can save in just 2 minutes at SoFi.com/save.
Family on three, 1, 2, 3. Family!
One voice, one heart, one beat. As we say, we are one. You ready? Let's go.
This is who we are.
We are the hardest working group of people I've ever met in my entire life.
This is bigger than just the game.
You made the jersey better than when you found it. That means you left your mark.
That's the Big East way.
1, 2, 3.
Together!
The 2019 Big East Women's Basketball Tournament at Wintrust Arena.
What can great minds do?
While at Seton Hall, I interned with the Superior Court of New Jersey, and that inspired me to go to law school.
I am a physics and civil engineering major, and I want to work on infrastructure in underdeveloped countries.
I'm the news director at one of the top college radio stations in the country.
I'm working with my professor on research that could help athletes during sudden cardiac events.
I started my own business, Classic Soccer Cleats, and I just sold it to a company in England.
Come see for yourself what great minds can do.
Meet Fliz 1. It's tiny and complex, and to our research team at Villanova University, this protein may hold the key to new tests for breast cancer. I started this work my second year at Villanova with a world-class researcher who is now my mentor and colleague. I stepped on campus an aspiring oncologist. Now, I'll start med school with a real understanding of the science behind the practice of medicine and Villanova's Augustinian values to guide me. Ignite change, go Nova.
It's time to fuel your ambitions by taking charge of your student debt. At SoFi, we've helped over 250,000 people refinance their student loans, saving thousands of dollars. Now you can pay off your student loans faster and reach your goals sooner. See how much you can save in just 2 minutes at SoFi.com/save.
Family on three, 1, 2, 3. Family!
One voice, one heart, one beat. As we say, we are one. You ready? Let's go.
This is who we are.
We are the hardest working group of people I've ever met in my entire life.
This is bigger than just the game.
You made the jersey better than when you found it. That means you left your mark.
That's the Big East way.
1, 2, 3.
Together!
The 2019 Big East Women's Basketball Tournament at Wintrust Arena.
What can great minds do?
While at Seton Hall, I interned with the Superior Court of New Jersey, and that inspired me to go to law school.
I am a physics and civil engineering major, and I want to work on infrastructure in underdeveloped countries.
I'm the news director at one of the top college radio stations in the country.
I'm working with my professor on research that could help athletes during sudden cardiac events.
I started my own business, Classic Soccer Cleats, and I just sold it to a company in England.
Come see for yourself what great minds can do.
A little halftime action out on the floor here at Walsh Gymnasium. The Seton Hall Pirates coming in tied for third in the Big East at 4-3 in Big East play, hosting the Villanova Wildcats, who are sitting down towards the bottom at 2-5. David Goss and Olivia Mulvihill with you here on the Big East Digital Network. Let's take a look at the first half highlights, Olivia. And Seton Hall a 2-point lead, but a game that's been played at Villanova's pace.
Definitely not what I think we expected from the Seton Hall team, who puts up crazy numbers offensively. Really just kind of struggling to find their rhythm, especially from beyond the arc. But still getting it done in the paint. Shadeen Samuels here has had a lot of good layups so far in this game. But like you said, they really are playing to Villanova's speed, and this Villanova's team, they like to take their time. They like to draw out the shot clock. And Seton Hall was the complete opposite. They like to run the ball up and down the floor. They like to score. So I think that, coming out of halftime, it's really going to have to be a matter of, which Seton Hall team comes out. Is it going to be the Seton Hall team who played in the first half that played at Villanova speed, or is it going to be the Seton Hall team who plays so fast and has played so fast, especially here at home, coming out in the second half?
Shadeen Samuels, you see there, 14 points leading the game. Jenna Tucker, 8 points leading for Villanova. You take a look at those stats, 9%, 1 of 11 from 3 for this Seton Hall team that shoots 37% from 3 here at home. The turnover battle's been tight, though, and Seton Hall has dominated the glass.
Seton Hall dominating the glass, definitely something. We talked about this earlier, how we kind of expected that to happen with Samuels and Philoxy and Elmore down low, grabbing those boards. But, with Villanova taking a lot of, different types of shots, it's kind of made it easier for Seton Hall to kind of get up and beat them on the glass. But I think the big thing that really stands out to me here is the 5 turnovers from Villanova. We said earlier how they only averaged 10.6 per game. So I think, in that Villanova locker room, I think a big thing that is going to be emphasized is keeping control of the ball and keeping it away from Seton Hall as much as possible.
Seton Hall +6 on the offensive glass, so dominating inside, dominating those second chance points, but still everything to play for. Just a 2-point game here at halftime. We expect a lot of scoring in the second half as these two teams find their feet. We're coming up in a few moments here on the Big East Digital Network. Seton Hall leading Villanova by 2 at the half.
Meet Fliz 1. It's tiny and complex, and to our research team at Villanova University, this protein may hold the key to new tests for breast cancer. I started this work my second year at Villanova with a world-class researcher who is now my mentor and colleague. I stepped on campus an aspiring oncologist. Now, I'll start med school with a real understanding of the science behind the practice of medicine and Villanova's Augustinian values to guide me. Ignite change, go Nova.
It's time to fuel your ambitions by taking charge of your student debt. At SoFi, we've helped over 250,000 people refinance their student loans, saving thousands of dollars. Now you can pay off your student loans faster and reach your goals sooner. See how much you can save in just 2 minutes at SoFi.com/save.
One voice, one heart, one beat. As we say, we are one. You ready? Let's go.
This is who we are.
We are the hardest working group of people I've ever met in my entire life.
This is bigger than just the game.
You made the jersey better than when you found it. That means you left your mark.
That's the Big East way.
1, 2, 3.
Together!
The 2019 Big East Women's Basketball Tournament at Wintrust Arena.
What can great minds do?
While at Seton Hall, I interned with the Superior Court of New Jersey, and that inspired me to go to law school.
I am a physics and civil engineering major, and I want to work on infrastructure in underdeveloped countries.
I'm the news director at one of the top college radio stations in the country.
I'm working with my professor on research that could help athletes during sudden cardiac events.
I started my own business, Classic Soccer Cleats, and I just sold it to a company in England.
Come see for yourself what great minds can do.
Meet Fliz 1. It's tiny and complex, and to our research team at Villanova University, this protein may hold the key to new tests for breast cancer. I started this work my second year at Villanova with a world-class researcher who is now my mentor and colleague. I stepped on campus an aspiring oncologist. Now, I'll start med school with a real understanding of the science behind the practice of medicine and Villanova's Augustinian values to guide me. Ignite change, go Nova.
It's time to fuel your ambitions by taking charge of your student debt. At SoFi, we've helped over 250,000 people refinance their student loans, saving thousands of dollars. Now you can pay off your student loans faster and reach your goals sooner. See how much you can save in just 2 minutes at SoFi.com/save.
What can great minds do?
While at Seton Hall, I interned with the Superior Court of New Jersey, and that inspired me to go to law school.
I am a physics and civil engineering major, and I want to work on infrastructure in underdeveloped countries.
I'm the news director at one of the top college radio stations in the country.
I'm working with my professor on research that could help athletes during sudden cardiac events.
I started my own business, Classic Soccer Cleats, and I just sold it to a company in England.
Come see for yourself what great minds can do.
Family on three, 1, 2, 3. Family!
One voice, one heart, one beat. As we say, we are one. You ready? Let's go.
This is who we are.
We are the hardest working group of people I've ever met in my entire life.
This is bigger than just the game.
You made the jersey better than when you found it. That means you left your mark.
That's the Big East way.
1, 2, 3.
Together!
The 2019 Big East Women's Basketball Tournament at Wintrust Arena. Meet Fliz 1. It's tiny and complex, and to our research team at Villanova University, this protein may hold the key to new tests for breast cancer. I started this work my second year at Villanova with a world-class researcher who is now my mentor and colleague. I stepped on campus an aspiring oncologist. Now, I'll start med school with a real understanding of the science behind the practice of medicine and Villanova's Augustinian values to guide me. Ignite change, go Nova.
It's time to fuel your ambitions by taking charge of your student debt. At SoFi, we've helped over 250,000 people refinance their student loans, saving thousands of dollars. Now you can pay off your student loans faster and reach your goals. It's time to fuel your ambitions by taking charge of your student debt. At SoFi, we've helped over 250,000 people refinance their student loans, saving thousands of dollars. Now you can pay off your student loans faster and reach your goals sooner. See how much you can save in just 2 minutes at SoFi.com/save.
A blue out at Walsh Gymnasium here for Friday night Big East action. The Seton Hall Pirates clinging to a 2-point lead against the Villanova Wildcats. A tight one here on the Big East Digital Network. David Goss and Olivia Mulvihill with you. And as the Seton Hall Pirates have become accustomed to, Shadeen Samuels leading the way. 14 points in the first half. Her last 2 home games, she's put up 19 and 32 here at Walsh.
Shadeen Samuels is really just, finding different ways to create some good offense for this Pirates team. The Pirates have 18 points in the paint, and she's really contributing to that. She also has 7 rebounds, so we've said this so many times. She knows how to play both ends of the floor, and I think that that's been so important to the success that this Pirates team has had so far this season.
So tipped up here in the second half. Both teams going with their full starting lineups for Villanova. Herlihy, Tucker, Jaycott, Gadeka, and Hahn. For Seton Hall, Cardesi, Butina, Jimenez, Samuels, and Falaxi. Butina gets blocked that time by Kelly Jaycott. She's not able to stay in bounds, so it'll be Seton Hall basketball with 10 seconds on the shot clock here, leading by 2 points. Remember, Samuels fouled with 1.2 seconds left in the first half, hit both free throws. Cardesi can't hit off the catch. And now Herlihy bringing it back the other way.
It's really been such a struggle for this Pirates team behind the arc, only shooting 9% in the first 2 quarters, which has been very uncharacteristic for them. So I think what's going to have to happen is Butina, Cardesi, and Jimenez and Samuels are really going to have to try and step that up and bring that percentage back up.
Hahn yet to hit a 3 in this one. The second all-time leading three-point shooter in Villanova history. 0 for 3 in this one, although we thought she hit one in the first quarter, but her foot was just on the line as she picks up that blocking foul there. For Hahn, that's her first personal. Samuels gets her own rebound, finishes off the second try.
Sam is really doing a good job there of trying to break up, getting double teamed there by Herlihy and Jaycott, which I think that this Villanova team is going to continue to do throughout the next 2 quarters, is really try and double team her down low and just continue to put pressure on her.
Gadeka got hot in the second quarter after not attempting a field goal in the first. Jaycott's had a quiet game as well, just 3 points for her. She steps back. That one doesn't even find iron, and now Jimenez looking to push the other way into the teeth of the defense. Well defended by Tucker. Faloxi calling for it down low. Butina finds the hands of Faloxi. Now a corner three for Butina. She hits rim. Jimenez, the shortest player in the conference, comes in and gets the offensive rebound.
Just shows that height isn't an excuse. You know, you can go up and grab a rebound. You're 5'2" or you're 6'2".
Faloxi battling 3 attempts at that one, and she can't get one to fall. Selena Faloxi still sitting on a goose egg in this one. Another 3-point attempt there by Jaycott. She can't find the range. Thrown forward for Samuels. Samuels gets fouled and scores.
This is exactly what this Seton Hall team is going to need to do for the rest of the game. They are playing, and we're only about 2.5 minutes in, but I've already noticed that their speed is a lot like their speed that they've had throughout this season. You know, not playing to Villanova speed. They're playing at their own tempo, which I think is going to be big.
So you see thrown forward here. And a little conversation right now between our officials. It looks like a technical foul being assessed. So Shadeen Samuels has scored the last 6 points in this game for either team. The final 2 of the first half has come out here with 4. She'll get a chance to add to that. When you talk about a team struggling, that's what you want to see from your star player.
Of course, and you know, getting into foul trouble here for Villanova, not exactly what you want to do, especially against a player like Samuels. You know, I think that they're just playing her a little too hard because you know, she has put up so many points and is leading in scoring for this Pirates team. So I think they're really just, you know, coming after her a little too hard. Really important here for Butina to get those free throws, which are so easy for her. She leads this team in free throw percentage, you know, shooting 85% from the charity stripe.
So the technical foul awarded to Herlihy after the foul was called, so she gets the personal and the technical foul. Samuels now will step to the line for the and one, and in a game where the 2 teams combined for only 52 points in the first half, those additional 2 points could end up mattering in the end.
Over halftime, we talked about how the Seton Hall team, you know, they put up big numbers throughout their games, and you know, only putting up 27 points in a second half really isn't like them. But there is still a lot of time to play in this game so far. But like you said, you know, those 2 points could really be a big difference maker in what's been quite the neck-and-neck game so far tonight.
Tucker can't find the range there. They try to throw it over the top for Samuels once again, and she finishes from under the basket.
Samuels is just able to finish so efficiently in just such crazy plays that, you know, could really be impossible for other players, but she makes it work.
Coach Peretta not happy as his team starts to lose control, and Coach Pizzella loving what he's seeing so far. Seton Hall on an 8-0 run to start the second half. They take their largest lead of the game here on the Big East Digital Network.
What can great minds do?
While at Seton Hall, I interned with the Superior Court of New Jersey, and that inspired me to go to law school.
I am a physics and civil engineering major, and I want to work on infrastructure in underdeveloped countries.
I'm the news director at one of the top college radio stations in the country.
I'm working with my professor on research that could help athletes during sudden cardiac events.
I started my own business, Classic Soccer Cleats, and I just sold it to a company in England.
Come see for yourself what great minds can do.
Meet Fliz 1. It's tiny and complex, and to our research team at Villanova University, this protein may hold the key to new tests for breast cancer. I started this work my second year at Villanova with a world-class researcher who is now my mentor and colleague. I stepped on campus an aspiring oncologist. Now, I'll start med school with a real understanding of the science behind the practice of medicine and Villanova's Augustinian values to guide me. Ignite change, go Nova.
Family on 3, 1, 2, 3. Family!
One voice, one heart, one beat. As we say, we are one. You ready? Let's go.
This is who we are.
We are the hardest working group of people I've ever met in my entire life.
This is bigger than just the game.
You made the jersey better than when you found it. That means you left your mark.
That's the Big East way.
1, 2, 3.
Together!
The 2019 Big East Women's Basketball Tournament at Wintrust Arena.
Big East basketball on the Big East Digital Network on Fox Sports Go, presented by SoFi. In this one, Seton Hall Pirates clinging to a 2-point lead coming out of halftime. Olivia, a 8-0 run here to stretch it to 10. The best stretch of the game for the Pirates.
The Pirates are going to have to continue to play like this. They're really upping their tempo and playing at the speed that they normally do. And a lot of that has to do with the way that not only Samuels is scoring, but the way her teammates are creating opportunities for her to score and really, bringing the ball down the court a lot faster and really beating Villanova to the basket.
This Villanova team scoreless here in the third quarter. Coach Peretta calling that timeout, trying to get this game back under control for Villanova team, who trailed by 6 going into the second quarter, worked their way back to a 2-point lead, ended up going into halftime down 2, but outplayed the home team in that second quarter. Samuels here blanketed all over Hahn. She gets into the lane and kisses it off the glass. Adriana Hahn, 4 points so far in this one. Samuels down low, misses. Butina gets the rebound. Jimenez for 3. She hits rim, and it safely lands in Selena Falaxi's hands.
And this is good here for the Pirates to keep possession and, really just look to try and, knock the clock down and keep control of this lead.
Butina with the bounce pass there for Falaxi, who had it knocked away by Gadeka. Anya Butina, another strong game for her. 6 rebounds and 4 assists to go along with her 8 points.
She really knows how to fill a stat sheet, I'll tell you.
That one rattles halfway down, looking to get into double digits. Anya Butina and Nicole Jimenez have been stuffed in the stat sheet. Jimenez 3 steals per game, 2 assists. Doing a little bit of everything, that backcourt for Coach Bozzella. Gadeka gets the mismatch down low, works it to perfection. And now Villanova only trailing by 6.
Gadeka is she's a tough player to begin with, but once she gets down low, she has such good size on her, and she's a really strong player, and she can really, make those shots and get above her defenders.
Falaxi looking to match her and go back, but she can't hit that fadeaway jumper. So now Villanova out of the timeout, looking to knock that lead down a little bit more, and they cut it in half. Coach Peretta calls a timeout. Villanova comes back out and goes on a 7-0 run.
What a shot from Hahn there. That was quite a deep 3. And, that's really what she does best and is the reason why she's inching her way towards that top spot in three-pointers made in Villanova history.
Illegal screen there by Falaxi, so another turnover for Seton Hall. They're now in a 2.5-minute scoring drought. Well, we went to a break, and it was all Seton Hall. Now it's all Villanova as these two teams go toe-to-toe here at Walsh Gymnasium. We'll be back in just a moment here on the Big East Digital Network.
It's time to fuel your ambitions by taking charge of your student debt. At SoFi, we've helped over 250,000 people refinance their student loans, saving thousands of dollars. Now you can pay off your student loans faster and reach your goals sooner. See how much you can save in just 2 minutes at SoFi.com/save.
What can great minds do?
While at Seton Hall, I interned with the Superior Court of New Jersey, and that inspired me to go to law school.
I am a physics and civil engineering major, and I want to work on infrastructure in underdeveloped countries.
I'm the news director at one of the top college radio stations in the country.
I'm working with my professor on research that could help athletes during sudden cardiac events.
I started my own business, Classic Soccer Cleats, and I just sold it to a company in England.
Come see for yourself what great minds can do.
Family on
one voice, one heart, one beat. As we say, we are one. You ready? Let's go.
This is who we are.
We are the hardest working group of people I've ever met in my entire life.
This is bigger than just the game.
You made the jersey better than when you found it. That means you left your mark.
That's the Big East way.
1, 2, 3.
Together!
The 2019 Big East Women's Basketball Tournament at Wintrust Arena.
Back now on the Big East Digital Network. Villanova fighting back through their star, Adriana Hahn. 1,300 points in her career for a reason, Olivia.
Exactly, and that three-pointer that she made going into that timeout was just exactly what we expected from her. And she has, with that, 278 career three-pointers made in her time at Villanova. So she's just really done as much as she can offensively for this team in her 4 years. But she's also a tremendous defensive player. She's had 6 steals or more 3 times this season. So I think that's exactly what you would want from a veteran point guard in her position.
Hahn averaging over 12 points per game. Only had 2 points in the first half, but helping her team on this 7-0 run to cut the lead to 3 with 5 points here. Hard trap on Hahn. And a quick timeout called by the Villanova bench. So Coach Bozzella throwing a little wrinkle to try and get his team going again here, and it worked for just a moment.
That's definitely exactly what, Coach Bozzella wanted. When we talked to him earlier, he was saying that, he's gonna, they're gonna look to see how much they're gonna pressure this Villanova team, and I think that they are giving, just the right amount that he would want, which I think has been a key difference maker. They are only up by 3, but they have played a lot of good defense and they've limited some of the best shooters in the Big East to uncharacteristic-like numbers.
Something to note, Coach Peretta, to keep this game under control, has had to use 2 timeouts here in the third quarter. So this Villanova team, only 2 timeouts left, as you see there on your score ticker. Seton Hall has all 4. If this comes down to a close game, that's something to think about. These are 2 teams that have struggled down the stretch of close games. So it'll be interesting to see how this one plays out. Samuels knocks that one away. Jaycott only has 5 seconds to shoot. She gets blocked. And now Seton Hall's going the other way. Jimenez outside. Butina driving in the lane, steps through the defense and scores. And Butina's now in double digits.
From start to finish, that's exactly what you would want to come out of a timeout. Great defense from Samuels in getting that block, and Butina picking the right way to score there, I think is going to be, a real key to see how this team can really hold on to their lead.
A big three-pointer there for Esposito. She's got 7 points in this one, double her season average.
Esposito around 3.3 points per game, but she has been a key player coming off the bench. She put up 13 points at Xavier, so definitely a key reserve for Peretta's team.
Desiree Elmore showing that offensive touch to push Seton Hall back up by 4 as Coach Bozzella's jacket comes off.
Things are getting serious when the blazer comes off.
And Hahn showing you why. She has been stupendous here in this third quarter. Cuts the lead back down to 2. She's got 7 here in the third. Now on defense. Tucker trying to stay with Samuels, who takes the contact, rises up, and finishes. Timeout called by the Seton Hall Pirates. A 4-point lead here. Shadeen Samuels dominant in the second half. She's got 8 herself.
Samuels has just made a plethora of improvements throughout her time here, but a big thing that is standing out in today's game is the way she looks to outsmart her defenders, and she has been double teamed throughout this game, but has come out on top in scoring really important layups down the line, and I think that really goes to show how much she's matured and how much her basketball IQ has grown throughout her time here.
So these 2 teams struggling to shoot in the first half. Now Villanova up to 41% on the game. Seton Hall at 35. They've hit combined their last 9 shots in this one. So the offense, as we expected, starting to find its feet.
Offense definitely picking up, and that's going to be really important for Villanova down the line. Throughout the season, we've seen them kind of struggle in finishing games, but they've really managed to keep up with the way that Seton Hall is scoring and keep this a really tight game.
Adriana Hahn and Shadeen Samuels going toe-to-toe here in this third quarter. Herlihy gets caught with the basketball. Gadeka now. Under 10 to shoot for Villanova. Someone's going to have to get a shot up. 1 second ago, Esposito lets fly. And that air ball will mean a shot clock violation. So off the timeout, Herlihy, Tucker, Esposito, Gadeka, and Hahn. On the flip side, Hilaire, Healy, Butina, Samuels, and Elmore.
It's good to see Healy come in here. You know, she doesn't put up that many points for this Pirate team, but she is really good at controlling the ball and making sure that this team, you know, doesn't commit as many turnovers.
Janine Samuels continuing to work here in the second half. She's got 24 points in this one. Her career high 32 just a few weeks ago here in this building. Hahn gets into the lane once again. The third quarter it has been for these two teams.
Hahn just really showing her versatility, making it known that she's not just a three-point shooter. She can go down the lane and put up points in the paint as well.
Another big shot here for Seton Hall. They stretch this lead to 7.
Really great numbers for Butina. 13 points. She's got 6 rebounds and now 4 assists. Like we said, you know, she knows how to fill out the stat sheet in the right ways.
Hahn will permanently have that green light, especially the way she's played here in the second half. Hilaire gets into the lane. She's got her first basket of this game. KK Hilaire has only played 10 minutes so far in this one. A big shot from her, a 9-point lead. Seton Hall has stretched their lead back once again. Tucker for a 3. She can't hit. A battle for that rebound. It'll be a foul on Desiree Elmore. Her second personal foul. The crowd doesn't like this one, as Raven James comes back on in place of Herlihy.
Elmore typically, you know, has to be careful when it comes to things like that because she is a really tough player and can get up and get rebounds and block some shots. But she has found herself in foul trouble a lot this season. You know, haven't put up that many minutes, so definitely something to improve on for next season.
Huge game right here for Emily Esposito. She's now got 10 points. Villanova hanging around on the road, trailing by 6. Butina answers that one once again. Seton Hall have hit 7 of their last 7 shots. They've exploded here in the second half.
What was such a quiet first and even second quarter offensive-wise has been just turned around completely. Both teams are really finding their rhythm from behind the arc and down low, so a lot must have been said in those locker rooms at halftime.
Foul called against Hilaire there for the hand check. So 2.9 seconds left. Villanova will try and get off the final shot of this quarter. Seton Hall, 27 points in the first half, 24 here in the third quarter as Hahn gets that 3 away and swishes it. What a third quarter. Adriana Hahn, 12 points by herself to keep her team in it, a 6-point lead for the Seton Hall Pirates as we head towards the fourth quarter. Adriana Hahn just 5 3-pointers away from the all-time Villanova record. And we'll be back with more here on the Big East Digital Network.
It's time to fuel your ambitions by taking charge of your student debt. At SoFi, we've helped over 250,000 people refinance their student loans, saving thousands of dollars. Now you can pay off your student loans faster and reach your goals sooner. See how much you can save in just 2 minutes at SoFi.com/save.
What can great minds do?
While at Seton Hall, I interned with the Superior Court of New Jersey, and that inspired me to go to law school.
I am a physics and civil engineering major, and I want to work on infrastructure in underdeveloped countries.
I'm the news director at one of the top college radio stations in the country.
I'm working with my professor on research that could help athletes during sudden cardiac events.
I started my own business, Classic Soccer Cleats, and I just sold it to a company in England.
Come see for yourself what great minds can do.
one voice, one heart, one beat. As we say, we are one. You ready? Let's go.
This is who we are.
We are the hardest working group of people I've ever met in my entire life.
This is bigger than just the game.
You made the jersey better than when you found it. That means you left your mark.
That's the Big East way.
1, 2, 3.
Together!
The 2019 Big East Women's Basketball Tournament at Wintrust Arena.
David Goss and Olivia Mulvihill from Walsh Gymnasium on the campus of Seton Hall University. Big East basketball here on the Big East Digital Network. A slow first half, an explosive third quarter, though. Adriana Hahn is the reason why. 12 points in that third quarter, 2 3-pointers, which puts her just 4 away from tying the Villanova all-time record.
Her 12 points really changed the tempo of this game. It's almost as if we're watching a completely different game from the first half. And, she's really upped her shooting. She's now shooting 50% from the field. And not only is she creating great opportunities for herself behind the arc, but she's driving down the lane. She's had a lot of good passes. She's really just been the real glue to this Villanova team in this game so far, which is exactly what you want to see from a senior veteran leader.
Villanova and Seton Hall basically equaling their first half offensive output in just the third quarter alone for these two teams. It was a 2-point game at halftime, a 6-point game right now. Villanova was able to get it back to a tie in that third quarter. Then Seton Hall stretched it once again to close out. What do we have here in the fourth? Fourth quarter's been an up-and-down battle for these two teams. For this Villanova squad, they led by 7 points against Georgetown with 5 minutes to go in their last game. They gave up a 7-0 lead from there on through 1:19 left in the game and ended up losing at Georgetown 68-63. So it's a team that struggled in this final stanza, but we'll see they have here today as Hilaire misses that layup, gets her own rebound. Seton Hall back into their offense. Butina has it knocked away. So Healy, Hilaire, Elmore, Samuels, and Butina. Hahn, Gadeka, Tucker, as well as Esposito, who's had a huge game so far, and Jaycott. Foul goes against Gadeka. That'll be her second personal foul, and she can't believe the call. Expect this Villanova rotation to get tight here in this fourth quarter. Coach Peretta, not his deepest team that he's had anyway. But he has some great upper-class leadership on the floor right now.
Definitely a good lineup in here right now, especially good things that you need from Gadeka to be a force down low.
Hilaire with the pull-up jumper, her second basket of this second half. Seton Hall putting on a little bit more pressure. Trying to ruffle the feathers of the Wildcats a bit. Villanova 5-3 on the road this season. This is their third of a 4-game road trip right now. Hilaire lays it off for Elmore, who tries to drop it down low for for Samuels, and Tucker gets called for the foul. Jenna Tucker, junior, transfer from Tennessee, was the number 8 recruit in the country. Coming out of high school, missed her entire senior year with an injury and ended up not playing any time at Tennessee and transferring to Villanova.
She had a great first season with Villanova. She started every game last season and averaged 9.3 points per game. Also another player on this team that comes from a heavily involved basketball family. Her sister plays D1 basketball at UMBC. So, basketball seems to really, really run deep in the Tucker family.
Her dad played basketball at Richmond as well. As you mentioned, it feels like every player on Villanova is from a family who's played high-level basketball. As Samuels gets blocked cleanly that time by Gadeka. 9-point lead here for the Pirates. Their largest lead of the game was 10 points. Villanova's only led once in this one, a 2-point lead late in the second quarter. Tucker lets fly, and she swishes that one. So Tucker's now in double digits. She's got 11 points. You knew the scoring would show up at some point for these two teams, especially that three-point shot, as Villanova has now knocked down 9 for the game, right on their season average, as Elmore misses the baseline jumper. Esposito, 10 points. Big performance for her. Tucker looking to go back-to-back from 3. Couldn't get that one to fall, and Elmore comes away. Turnover. Gadeka out in the open court. She pulls it out. Now she's going to get a look down in the lane, puts it up off the glass and in.
Gadeka really putting up some strong numbers for the Wildcats. 8 rebounds, she's leading the team in that, and I think that's really been a big difference maker in giving Villanova possession and, you know, making sure that this team can have as many opportunities to score as they would want in order to win this game.
And you can see why Gadeka leads the conference in efficiency as Butina hits that layup off the spin move. Coach Brazell is going to call a timeout. We've seen these two coaches here trying to control momentum. Coach Pereira called a big timeout down 10 in the third quarter. His team got back to 2. Now Coach Brazell trying to stretch his lead. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back here with what looks like a good one late in the fourth quarter. Seton Hall Pirates trying to cling on to a lead at home.
It's time to fuel your ambitions by taking charge of your student debt. At SoFi, we've helped over 250,000 people refinance their student loans, saving thousands of dollars. Now you can pay off your student loans faster and reach your goals sooner. See how much you can save in just 2 minutes at SoFi.com/save.
Meet Fliz 1. It's tiny and complex, and to our research team at Villanova University, this protein may hold the key to new tests for breast cancer. I started this work my second year at Villanova with a world-class researcher who is now my mentor and colleague. I stepped on campus an aspiring oncologist. Now, I'll start med school with a real understanding of the science behind the practice of medicine and Villanova's Augustinian values to guide me. Ignite change, go Nova.
What can great minds do?
While at Seton Hall, I interned with the Superior Court of New Jersey, and that inspired me to go to law school.
I am a physics and civil engineering major, and I want to work on infrastructure in underdeveloped countries.
I'm the news director at one of the top college radio stations in the country.
I'm working with my professor on research that could help athletes during sudden cardiac events.
I started my own business, Classic Soccer Cleats, and I just sold it to a company in England.
Come see for yourself what great minds can do.
A tight game here in the fourth quarter. Big East basketball on the Big East Digital Network. And Olivia, tight games late in the fourth hasn't always bode well for Villanova this season.
Villanova, no strangers to playing close games. They went to overtime with DePaul and ended up losing that one. They lost by just 5 recently at Georgetown, lost by 6 at Providence, but ended up on top against Creighton down in Omaha, winning that one by 2 points. So this team is really no stranger to taking teams down the line. It's just going to be a matter of if they finish efficiently or not.
Looking for their first win in Big East play in their last 5 games for this Villanova team, sitting 2-5 right now. Down towards the bottom of the Big East Conference, not where they expected to be. And Tucker trying to carry them back towards the top. She cuts this lead in half.
Tucker has been such an asset on this team throughout her time at Villanova. She brings a lot of leadership and just general basketball experience to this team that you would want with a team that has a lot of freshmen and has a lot of transfers coming in to just really, look to lead them and up everyone else's basketball intelligence.
So another moving screen. This one goes against Shadeen Samuels, her second personal foul. Neither team really in danger of getting into the bonus. And we go back the other way, and Tucker this time gets called for that illegal screen. So these two teams trading off.
And Gadeka had probably the reaction of the century with that. You know, really, it's really going to be important for both these teams not to, you know, create opportunities for the opposing teams, because with this game being so close, it's really anyone's game right now.
Samuels to Elmore for the long two. Desiree Elmore there right from her office, and she's on 8 points today.
Elmore doesn't get a lot of minutes, you know, off this Pirates bench, but when she is on the court, she really does as much as she can. You know, only averaging around 18 points per game, but she's put up 9 points per game. So when she's on the court, she knows how to score and she knows when to score.
Tucker looking for an opening, trying to stay hot. That one was halfway down. Seton Hall trying to stretch their lead to a 3-possession. Elmore goes backdoor down the baseline for the reverse layup, and she couldn't get it to fall. Villanova has hung around in this one. It feels like the type of game Han or Gadeka can carry you maybe over that line. Jaycott still only 3 points for her, and Gadeka earns the and one. She'll go to the line.
I think this game pretty much just sums up how Big East play has gone throughout this season. It's really anyone's game to be up in the top 5, top 2. You know, Marquette has been in control of the Big East so far this season. They are undefeated, but the way these two teams are playing right now really just goes to show how tough this conference is this year.
Coach Peretta showing all 41 years of that experience in this one. He's helped manage his team from a 10-point deficit here in the second half. They fought back more than once from long scoreless stretches, and now down by 2 with 4 minutes to go. Under 10 to shoot. Elmore gets it knocked away. Samuels out for Cardacy, who lets fly from 3. It's off the side of the rim and out. A big defensive stop for Villanova. They look to tie this one up for the first time here in the fourth quarter. Hilaire comes back on in place of Cardacy. Esposito, Hahn, Tucker, Gadeka, and Jaycott on the court for Villanova. Hilaire, Butina, Jimenez, Samuels, and Elmore on the floor for Seton Hall. Kelly Jaycott, the leading scorer on this team, just 1 of 6. Handling the basketball now. Shadeen Samuels putting in another big defensive performance. Gadeka now looking to create. She gets around Elmore, who falls over, and she ties it up.
Gadeka really dangerous throughout this game, 11 points. A really slow first quarter, but really once she got hit earlier on in the game, it's really as if she's a whole different player out there after that.
Yeah, it woke her up, that offensive foul by Samuels that Gadeka came up limping from. She responded with back-to-back layups to get herself going. She's now 13 points as usual. Super efficient, 6 of 8 from the field. Backing down Elmore once again to her right hand, and she takes the lead for the first time in the second half. Villanova. And an illegal screen here this time on Samuels. The third personal foul for Samuels. Seton Hall currently in a 2.5-minute scoring drought as Villanova, with this 7-0 run, has taken their first lead, Olivia, of the second half.
Not something you want to see if you're the Pirates, you know, having Samuels pick up another foul there, but this Villanova team has really come out with such great pressure. You know, they are a really great defensive team, and they're really living up to that hype. We talked earlier how they rarely turn the ball over, and they're so efficient at creating turnovers and creating opportunities for this team, for their team to score, and they've really just lived up to those expectations.
So Adriana Hunt took a hard hit on that illegal screen. And right now, she's struggling to get involved in the game. Gadeka, though, takes over. She doesn't need her. What a performance as Gadeka gets another and one, is headed to the line.
And she really just beat Faloxi and Samuels there in order to get the bucket and go to the line, which is definitely going to be something so crucial here for the Wildcats if they want to hold on to this lead in the final 2 minutes.
Gadeka has made the last 4 field goals in this game by herself. Looking to stretch the lead. She can't get it to fall, but the largest lead of the game here late in the 4th quarter. The Seton Hall Pirates on the verge of losing their first home game of the season, and they get called for the 3rd straight illegal screen, this time on KK Hilaire, and Coach Bozzella can't believe it.
Very tough situation here with just back-to-back-to-back fouls called on the Pirates, and Villanova has just responded so well after each foul in putting up points.
So a 9-0 run here for Villanova. As Seton Hall is on a 3-minute scoring drought. Gadeka, she has backed down Elmore and dominated this 4th quarter. This foul will go against Elmore. And now, Villanova's going to be in the bonus for the final minute and 40 seconds of this one.
And this team has really been efficient from the line so far in this game, and Gadeka kind of going back and forth with her made free throw shots, but right now it's definitely going to be crucial for her to try and give her team a more comfortable lead.
She shoots 63% from the free throw line, which is worse than she shoots from the field. As a team, Villanova shoots 65%, a 5-point game with 1.5 minutes to go. Seton Hall is going to have to try and break this drought. 3.5 minutes scoreless now for the Pirates. After they exploded for 25 points, this foul will go against Jaycott. But Seton Hall, 25 points in the 3rd quarter. Now 3.5 minutes scoreless here in the 4th. Villanova not just turning around this game, they may have turned around their season here in the last 3 minutes. Jimenez coming off the screen. No one gets a touch on that one, and it's an air ball.
Villanova.
And now it looks like the referees want to take a look to see if this one took a touch and whose possession it'll be. So the referees will go over and take a look at this one. But Olivia, Villanova trailing the entire game, had only led once in the 2nd quarter by 2 points, and they have stormed back here with a 10-0 run in the 4th quarter to take a 5-point lead.
This is exactly how you want to play, entering that 2nd leg of Big East play, because we said this throughout the broadcast so much. The Big East is really up to anyone, besides, the number 10 team in the country, Marquette, feeling pretty comfortable there in the 1 spot. But this is going to be a really crucial game for this Wildcat team in order to go from 2-5 on their Big East season, to pick up a win here, and to go into Queens on Sunday with a good mentality and try to pick up a win at Carneseca.
For Seton Hall, they got blown out at Marquette last Friday. It looked like they had a season turnaround win against DePaul 2 days later in Chicago, but a home game here as we take another look at this one. Tough to see if it took a deflection off the hand of Esposito. But Seton Hall, their offense has just disappeared here in the 4th quarter. What has Villanova done to keep this Pirate team down?
The big thing for that Villanova has done, I think their height has really worked towards their advantage. This Seton Hall team, they have some height on them, but this Wildcat team knows how to defend players from the 3-point line, down low. And I think that the slow start that this Villanova team took in the first 2 quarters really opened their eyes to saying, this is how we need to defend them. We got to be down low. We got to block shooting Samuels as much as we can, which they have done successfully. Haven't seen much from Samuels. Now she's in the foul trouble. So I think that this Nova team really did a good job in the locker room, picking apart each and everything that, Seton Hall has done well and hasn't done well, and has really used that to their advantage.
So it will be Villanova possession, no touch, judged by the referees after reviewing it. It was Tucker in the first half leading the way. It was Adriana Hahn in the third quarter with 12 points. And now Mary Gadeka in the fourth quarter, dominating by herself. And Villanova, if they're not anything, they're experts in running down the clock. Only 8 turnovers in this game. As Esposito finally gets fouled, already in the bonus, so Villanova will go to the line. Esposito has only shot 1 free throw on the season, which she missed. Redshirt freshman out of Gorham, Maine. 10 points today, 3 points off her career high, and has hit some huge shots when this team was struggling to create offense.
A lot of credit to this Villanova bench. Each and every player, we talked about how this team doesn't really go deep. They pretty much use 8 different players, but each and every one of them gives consistent effort and pulls up big shots when they need them most.
6-point game. Seton Hall doesn't have a whole lot of time to waste. Butina gets fouled while driving. That'll put Seton Hall now into the bonus. So Butina will go to the line. Butina shooting 85% from the free throw line on the season. Has made her only 2, which, remember, was the technical foul called against Herlihy. Butina hits the first. Coach Bozzella setting up the full court press. She hopes comes off a make here as Butina knocks down the second. The Pirates need a turnover or some missed free throws if they're going to get themselves back in this one. A 4-point game. Hard trap there on the side, and Villanova gets the timeout. Kelly Jaycott trapped down there on the side there. Olivia gets the timeout just before the jump ball. So Villanova possession here with 54 seconds to play.
This is definitely going to be very crucial for Villanova for them to come out on top today. Really, I think a big difference maker for them in today's game is I think that they kind of learned from a lot of their close Big East games and, thought to themselves, hey, we want to get back up to the top of the rankings. We still want to see ourselves in the postseason, and I think that today has been a really good lesson for them to show that they can play hard against a team that plays fast and puts up a lot of points like the Pirates. So definitely a lot of good things coming from this Wildcats team so far tonight.
And this game's been played at Villanova's tempo, even with that high-scoring third quarter, averaging just over 60 points per game on the season. This one goes down the sideline for Gadeka. Jimenez looking to trap. They get it to Hahn in the corner. Hahn's able to get out of it. More time to waste here. And finally, Esposito gets fouled, and she'll go back to the line once again. But a solid 9 seconds off the clock there for Villanova.
And if it's one thing that this Villanova team does well is they run down the clock very well. And a lot of that has to do with just their general tempo. They really run out the shot clock on almost every possession. And that's really key in a game like this when you're up 4 points with 45 seconds left to make sure that you have possession for as long as possible and make sure that your opponent does not get anywhere near the ball.
So the upperclassmen have led the way, Gadeka and Hahn and Tucker, but Esposito here, the redshirt freshman, trying to ice it from the line. She misses one, makes one. So a 5-point lead here with 45 seconds to play. Seton Hall has Cardacci and Elmore back in the game. Butina trying to get into the lane. She gets blocked by Gadeka, but another foul called.
Not the type of foul that you want to make in this situation. 37 seconds still can be a lot of time for this Seton Hall team who down the line has been able to finish games efficiently throughout this season. And, when you foul the team's leading free throw shooter, it's definitely not ideal.
So Butina just hit 2. 5 of 5 from the line for the game. That's Mary Gadeka's 3rd personal foul in this one. So this game does go to overtime. It's something to watch out for 3 players on the floor right now with 3 personal fouls for Villanova, 4 for Seton Hall. So a timeout here for Coach Bozzella. He's got 1 left. Or excuse me, Villanova uses their last timeout here. So if they get trapped, they cannot call a timeout. What are these 2 coaches saying to their teams right now in the huddle?
For the Pirates, I think it's definitely going to be a matter of who can step up and create an opportunity to tie this game or draw an and one. And, you know, for Coach Beretta, he's quite the veteran. He's been in situations like this. This Villanova team has been in situations like this in nearly every game so far this season. And I think it's really just going to be a matter of, you know, if Seton Hall can up their tempo or if they're going to continue to play to the speed that Villanova has been playing to. And I think a really big thing is going to be, you know, Seton Hall playing like Seton Hall basketball, which is fast-paced, you know, full pressure, and creating big opportunities to score.
As you mentioned, Harry Beretta, last year's Big East Coach of the Year, his 4th Big East Coach of the Year award. He's gone to 11 NCAA tournaments. He has won 20 games 20 times in his 41 years at Villanova. He's had a good one today, calling timeout in the 3rd quarter. When his team trailed by 10, they were able to come back, cut the lead. 3-point lead now with 37 seconds left to play. Tucker gets it into Hahn, and Hahn gets fouled quickly. A perfect situation for Villanova as Adriana Hahn, 72% free throw shooter, goes to the line, trying to make it a 2-possession game. That's Hilaire's 4th personal foul. Hahn, nothing but ice there on that first one. What a game Hahn's had. She's had 13 points here in the second half. She makes the second one. And now Seton Hall will call a timeout, so they'll advance the basketball here with 37 seconds to play. Olivia, still time, only 1 timeout left. Do you go for a 3 here, or do you go for a 2?
For Seton Hall, you know, they haven't been playing as well, shooting as well from behind the arc as they have earlier on this season. So I think a key for them is going to have to be for Samuels to make a big play down low, try and get an and one, because if they're going to try and force a 3, I don't think that it's going to come out the way that Coach Bozzella would want it to. When we talked to him before the game, you know, he has really been instituting in his team, you know, not to force a 3 because teams have been defending them really well from behind the arc so far in conference play. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that these teams saw how well this team shot from 3-point range in non-conference season. Seton
Hall, 3 of 19 from behind the arc. Samuels gets inside. She misses it. The rebound still alive. Elmore up and 1. So Seton Hall goes for 2. They might end up with 3. A lucky deflection falls into the arms of Desiree Elmore. And this is going to be the 2nd personal foul on Adriana Hahn.
A key thing that Coach Bozzella said before this game is he doesn't care how his team scores. He cares when they score. And that was just a perfect example of Elmore creating a great opportunity to get this Pirates team closer.
Elmore misses the free throw. The rebound comes back out, though, for Seton Hall. And Coach Bozzella will call a timeout with the ball. 27 seconds to go. A 3-point game. Olivia, this game has been out of control.
This game definitely, in the first quarter, didn't start as we expected it to, because both these teams are great offensively. They put up great numbers throughout games. And it's just been quite the topsy-turvy game. You know, things have been back and forth. You know, both these teams aren't really playing like themselves. But it's just been, for us, some great entertainment for sure. And, you know, good things definitely for both teams. You know, keeping it close throughout this game. Villanova still limiting their turnovers. They still only have 8. Seton Hall with 13. And, you know, both these teams, I think, have just made great improvements throughout the game.
You got to think for Seton Hall with 27 seconds to go, based on what they did last time, that they're going to go for that quick 2 to go inside for Samuels. for this Villanova team. They led by 6 with the ball with 1:09 to go. And right now, there's a situation where they could be tied getting this basketball back.
And if it's a situation where Samuels can get down low or Elmore, again, you know, they've both drawn a lot of fouls so far in this game, and I think that, you know, they know how to draw a foul and get back to the foul line, so I think that that's exactly what they're going to do here.
Hilaire, Butina, Elmore, Samuels, and Cardaci on the floor. Samuels isolated against Tucker, and a foul called in the bonus, so Seton Hall will go straight to the line here. Shadeen Samuels has shot it well so far today, 7 of 9 from the free throw line, but the 2 biggest of the game coming up right here.
Also nothing new for Samuels, a double-double, 14 rebounds, 25 points, another huge game for the junior.
She hits the first one. Jenna Tucker now has 4 personal fouls. Gadeka's got 3. Jay Cott's got 3 as well. Samuels now for the second. So she cuts it to 1. Seton Hall immediately in the full court press. Esposito now, she gets fouled. Emily Esposito, the redshirt freshman, 2 of 4 from the line here in the fourth quarter. These are big free throws coming up now, Olivia.
Big free throws, and you know, you got to think redshirt freshman hasn't really been in this situation in Walsh Gym before, so curious to see how she tackles this, if she can hit both of them, if she can get one and, you know, make it a one-possession game, or if she can really extend this lead and really kind of pencil in a victory for the Wildcats.
Seton Hall has no timeouts left, neither does Villanova. So Coach Bozzella won't have a chance to draw up a play no matter what happens, as Esposito misses the first. And the crowd here goes wild on a blue-out night at Walsh Gymnasium. You see Hilaire talking to her teammates about boxing out here. A big free throw is coming for Esposito. And she swishes the second one. 2-point game, 21 seconds to go. No timeouts left for either team. Who will step up? Cardaci with the long 3 off the board. No good. Rebound held by Seton Hall. Now Butina drives for Samuels, who misses the layup. The second try is blocked. Still alive. Elmore goes to the ground. And she's out of bounds. It'll be Villanova ball. Coach Bozzella beside himself on the sideline. Seton Hall, 3 chances to tie or take the lead there, Olivia. And Villanova has this one with 3 seconds to go.
Absolutely heartbreaking there. You know, we saw, you know, an opportunity from Cardaci there and then 2 from Samuel. So just so frustrating for this Pirates team to be so close and to just have it, you know, taken away from them.
Coach Bozzella furious, but you have to say, Olivia, Samuels had a chance with that layup, but went with her right hand from the left side, and it looked like maybe got blocked a little and wasn't able to finish.
Hard situation there for Samuels. You know, we said earlier how she's been double teamed and really, you know, defended strong throughout this game. But, you know, you'll see here, really, you know, Villanova tried to get up on that block there. Gadeka putting good pressure on Samuels, and, you know, Villanova's defense just coming out on top there with how much pressure they created in order to get possession back.
So Villanova only led once by 2 points at the end of the second quarter. They trailed by 10 in the third quarter, 7 at the end of the third quarter, and here in the fourth, they went on a 3.5-minute, 10-0 run to take the lead. It looked like it was over. All of a sudden, Seton Hall fights back. They make some free throws. They have the ball down 2 with 27 seconds to go. And we talked about Villanova's struggles in late games. It looks like they're going to eke one out here.
They've really turned around from, you know, what we've seen earlier on this season. It seems that that loss at Georgetown, the 68-63 loss on the 19th, really left a bad taste in their mouth, and I think that they really came into this road trip up to Seton Hall and to St. John's hungry, you know, wanting that third conference win. And this team has played really well in Walsh over the past couple of years. Villanova has not beaten, Seton Hall has not beaten Villanova in Walsh Gym since 2016. So it really just goes to show that, this Villanova team can play well on the road, especially here in South Orange.
Villanova dominating here, as you said, as Gadeka will run out the clock. The foul gets called. The clock went to 00, so they'll have to go and check to see the exact time left. But as you said, they have won 12 of their last 15 games here at Walsh Gymnasium, 10 of their last 14 against Seton Hall. And we came in looking at the standings. This is the last weekend of the first round through the Big East schedule. It only gets harder from here on out. And for Villanova, it looked like they were about 6 minutes away from falling to 2-6 on the season. And they pull out a win led by their two seniors in Mary Gadeka and Adriana Hahn.
Great games from these veterans. You're really just showing that they can lead this team and that this team is still hungry. They really want to keep winning. And like you said, their schedule does not get any easier. They will go to Queens on Sunday to play St. John's, and then they'll be back home for Providence and Creighton. And then they'll have the toughest road trip of the year, going to Chicago and Milwaukee the weekend of February 8th to play DePaul, who just fell out of the national rankings, and Marquette, who is now the number 10 team in the country. So definitely some games that this team can make some noise in. But right now, I think, is definitely the turning point in this team's season, looking towards the postseason.
Coach Peretta talking to his team right now as they figure out how much time will be left in this one, but no timeouts left, so you got to think for Seton Hall, not enough for them to get back in it. For the Pirates, they were 9-0 at home coming into this game, averaging 88 points in home games. They get held to 66 in this one. What happened in this fourth quarter?
Villanova really scouted this team hard, and we talked earlier about how different this Seton Hall team has been in conference play when it comes to making 3 points, because they have been defended a lot harder. But I think that this Villanova team and the way they play defense and the way they create turnovers and really use their height to their advantage was really the difference maker in this Seton Hall team.
So we've got 0.4 seconds left. Gadeka will step to the line. Mary Gadeka, another huge game for her. She had 16 points and 8 rebounds on 8 of 9 shooting against Georgetown in the last game. She's got 18 points and 9 rebounds on this one. 8 of 10 from the field. 19 points as she puts in those free throws. And that will be it. A comeback win for the Villanova Wildcats, staring a 2-6 start in Big East play down the barrel. They fight back to move to 12-7 on the season, 3-5 in Big East play to win just their 6th away game of the year. We can't say enough about this performance by the Wildcats.
They really, saw their first quarter performance and just did a complete 180 when it came to how they played defense, how they created offensive opportunities. And, you really got to give it up to them for the way that they came out against this really strong offensive Seton Hall team and limited them to just 66 points, which this Seton Hall team hasn't seen, final scores under 70 points barely this season. So, that's definitely going to be a confidence booster for this Villanova team going into what should be a tough St. John's game in Queens at Carnesecca. And Seton Hall's schedule doesn't get that much easier as well, with Georgetown coming here on Sunday, and they have some of the most talented players in the Big East right now.
Shadeen Samuels, a double-double, 27 points and 16 rebounds. Gadeka leading Villanova with 20 points and 9 rebounds. For the second week in a row, Seton Hall is going to have to look to rebound from a tough Friday night loss with a Sunday game, this time at home against Georgetown. We'll be back in just a moment with your post-game wrap-up here on the Big East Digital Network.
It's time to fuel your ambitions by taking charge of your student debt. At SoFi, we've helped over 250,000 people refinance their student loans, saving thousands of dollars. Now you can pay off your student loans faster and reach your goals sooner. See how much you can save in just 2 minutes at SoFi.com/save.
What can great minds do?
While at Seton Hall, I interned with the Superior Court of New Jersey, and that inspired me to go to law school.
I am a physics and civil engineering major, and I want to work on infrastructure in underdeveloped countries.
I'm the news director at one of the top college radio stations in the country.
I'm working with my professor on research that could help athletes during sudden cardiac events.
I started my own business, Classic Soccer Cleats, and I just sold it to a company in England.
Come see for yourself what great minds can do.
Family on three, 1, 2, 3. Family!
One voice, one heart, one beat. As we say, we are one. You ready? Let's go.
This is who we are.
We are the hardest working group of people I've ever met in my entire life.
This is bigger than just the game.
You made the jersey better than when you found it. That means you left your mark.
That's the Big East way.
1, 2, 3.
Together!
The 2019 Big East Women's Basketball Tournament at Wintrust Arena. Meet Fliz 1. It's tiny and complex, and to our research team at Villanova University, this protein may hold the key to new tests for breast cancer. I started this work my second year at Villanova with a world-class researcher who is now my mentor and colleague. I stepped on campus an aspiring oncologist. Now, I'll start med school with a real understanding of the science behind the practice of medicine and Villanova's Augustinian values to guide me. Ignite change, go Nova.
A stunning come-from-behind win for the Villanova Wildcats on the road against Seton Hall here on the Big East Digital Network. David Goss and Olivia Mulvihill joining you for this one. Villanova only led once in the first half by 2 points, took their largest lead with a minute left in this one, and then a crazy finish. Let's take a look at the highlights here, Olivia, as Villanova came out slow, and then the second half they just started to cook.
Such an impressive victory for this Wildcats team, doing exactly what they needed to do in order to come out with the win. And a lot of that really had to do with Adriana Hahn really getting hot from behind the arc and, down low, and dishing out some great assists to some players on the wings and down low. So this Villanova team just really pieced everything together in order to come out victorious tonight.
Gadeka 1 rebound away from a double-double, 20 points and 9 rebounds, but this was the story of the second half. Backing down Desiree Elmore, backing down Shadeen Samuels, dominating this game to lead her team in scoring. And you take a look at these stats. Seton Hall was shooting 37% from 3 at home, going 9-0 this year. They shoot 15% from behind the arc. They make 3 of 20.
And another thing that really stands out is for Seton Hall, you can out-rebound a team 49-27 and still come out with a loss if a team like Villanova is shooting so efficiently from the field, especially down the line when it mattered most. That's exactly what Villanova did, and it really just came back to really leave a bitter taste with Seton Hall.
Plus 18 for second chance points for Seton Hall, but it was not enough in this one as they fall at home for the first time in the 2018-19 season. Seton Hall will look to rebound here on the Big East Digital Network on Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time as they host Georgetown. Villanova trying to get a winning streak going. They head to St. John's for their 4th out of 4 games on the road to close out this away stretch. It was a good one here. Thanks so much to Olivia Mulvihill for joining us. Thanks so much to all of you for joining us from our crew. Have a great night. Good Big East basketball here. Villanova wins 70-66 here on the Big East Digital Network.